Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Women Who Rock with Success, which is an award-winning show for professional women. We profile a collective of amazing women who are thriving to build their brand. Women are handpicked in various fields who can provide credible information to build your business and lifestyle. We are live each Thursday at 9 a.m. Central Time, followed by our latest brand, Women Who Rock Investigates. To learn more about us, go to our website at www.womenwhorockwithsuccess.com. Now, let's join our podcast host in the studio, Mrs. Diane Winbush.
And good morning and welcome to another episode of Women Who Rock with Success. Of course, this is your show host, Ms. Diane Winbush, and we thank everyone for tuning in today. Today we have a special guest in the studio, and we're going to be talking about music, and we're going to be talking about her latest new single, Supremacy, if I'm pronouncing that right. So anyways, we're going to let her pronounce it. We're going to welcome her to the show, and it is none other than musician and song artist, Miss Carolee Rainey. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So let's get into it. So tell us a little bit about you. What started you to, wanting to do music, and what was it that thrived you to be able to become a musician, playing the guitar? That's, something sometimes usual and unusual for women. Sometimes women, they be doing everything, playing the drums, cooking, or whatever. So tell us what it was that kind of got you started into the music industry.
Well, this is my second foray into the music industry. I did it a long time ago, and then I stopped to have a family, and I never thought I was going to do it again. I thought I was done, and I had become a painter, and while I was raising my children, and then then one day I stopped painting, and I said, what am I going to do when I grow up, And I'm just a big old baby. And then I went into this concert one day. I saw this singer-songwriter, and I thought she was amazing. And I'm like, there is just nothing better than speaking the truth from your heart in a musical way. And that night I went back, sat at the piano, and just started banging out songs. And that was about 5 years ago, and I just haven't stopped.
Oh, wow. That is so wonderful. That is so wonderful. Okay, so before we get into your latest single, tell us about some of the previous music that you have produced for your listeners and for your fans.
Okay, sure. Well, we came out with a live concert that I did during COVID, which, of course, we're still during COVID, but is COVID ever going to end, right? But I came out with a concert. You can find it on, Spotify and I did some videos. It was a live concert, so they filmed me doing it live in the studio. It's called The Wild Concert Unplugged. And that was really an acoustic show I did. It was just, I ran down to the studio one afternoon, and we had a film crew, and we just, did about 10 of my original songs on piano, and I had a guitarist accompany me as well. And, I just was hungry to do a show and get it out there, and that's what that show is. And so that was very, very enjoyable. And I talked about I have songs ranging from, how deep you go in a friendship and, different kinds of love relationships, the usual stuff.
Right, that's correct, because a lot of times, some musicians and artists, they kind of spill out the beans. if you want to say it like that, they kind of spill out the beans when they are, they can be able to put their feelings and their emotions into their music. And so someone else can hear it, and they was like, okay, that's for me right there, because I'm going through this, or I'm going through that, or this is something to be able to help it, to encourage me. So yeah, that's great. So let's talk about look, pronounce that for me.
Okay, let me help you out here. Okay, it's so much easier than you think. It's called Serendipity.
Serendipity. Okay,
yeah, serendipity.
Perfect.
I really love that word, and because in my guesstimate, the word means like getting lucky, finally getting a break, having things fall into sync, right? So in this song, Serendipity, I'm talking about the sort of the story of love, like you fall in love, and it's like the sun. It feels so amazing. You've never felt anything so amazing. And then, you know, that initial infatuation period sometimes can wear off too soon before we're ready to say goodbye. And then you're faced with, you start really depending on in a love relationship. And then what I'm saying in this song is then the moon comes along, and the moon is like, babe, you can't lose sight of your sense of self. You really have to just continue to be yourself and be in a relationship, but not be so dependent on a relationship that you lose yourself in the relationship, like in that infatuation period where you can just go, oh my God, I don't know what this is, but it's like the greatest drug I ever had. So, and then you start getting confused, like, am I strong enough? Can I do this without having to, can I really be as strong as I want to be in a relationship? And you're like, or is this even the right relationship for me? And I'm looking for serendipity. I'm looking for answers. Is this the right path? Is this the right way? Is he the right person? Is she the right person? And then the summary of the song goes to the rain. And the rain talks about how, the rain, the whole world gets rained on. And sometimes that's really scary lesson because it hurts. You know how we go through things and they're just painful. We have painful months. We have painful years. I mean, I'm a very positive person, but stuff happens, and it hurts. And those lessons, they say what doesn't, kill you makes you stronger. I'm not always a big advocate of that sentence, but I will say that, we are here. The long and short of it is to learn our lessons. And the sooner we can learn our lessons, the more we can evolve and find our serendipity. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. I watched, I looked at the video, listened to the song as well. And even with some of the body language, I guess I want to say from you, it was more like also like a freedom, is that the person had a choice. They can be able to be free. I mean, it was just kind of the motions that I saw. I said it seems like it's also saying that a person has a free choice. They can be able to be free. Even when problems, I kind of listened to the other factor that you said. It was kind of HELL for, going through some things. But at the end of it, I still saw with the body movement. I guess I'm kind of better at body language than anything, and so through the body language, I kind of saw it was saying too that the person still can be able to be free, no matter what they're going through, or if the sun comes out, I'm still free. If the moon comes out, I'm still free. Even if I'm going through this, I'm still free at the end of the day. So I kind of saw that, I kind of felt that too while I was listening to the song as well. So I said, okay, this is going to work right here, because someone can be, this is very encouraging, I guess I wanted to say, to a listener that wants to be able to get free of something, or they have gone through something. This can be able to help them on that path. And so I kind of enjoyed listening to it, yeah. So let's talk about your career a little bit in regards to becoming a musician and an artist, and we're going to get it back to serendipity. I'm going to get it right before this show is over with. Serendipity. So were there any mentors that kind of helped you along the way to be able to encourage you through your career as a music artist, songwriter, and into what you're doing, and continually to embrace your audiences and your fans with more and more music?
So, okay, let me try and understand your question. You are wanting me to tell you some of my mentors or some of the music artists that I look up to. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, well, some of the artists that, you mean music that I've been drawn to that's really inspired me as a musician, I think there's a lot of people out there that are familiar with an artist. His name is, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. His name is Hozier, 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 and his music is just hits me right behind the heart. It goes right through and behind, and every time, I hear him sing, and I hear what he sings about or how he plays his lyrics, it just puts me, in another world, and I love that feeling. I love that feeling that he can do that to me, and I know that he does that to a lot of his fans, and that's just a very powerful and magical feeling that, you can take people out of their current moment and bring them to another place that you've created. I think that's just the most amazing thing. It's like being, it's like just being a wizard, like you take your wand out and you go, okay, I'm going to transport you to a whole nother realm. And I think that's a very magical way to spend your life if you're feeling passionate about it, as I am.
Okay, great. Okay. And so I know we have talked about serendipity. See, I got it right that time. So so in regards to that, so what are you expecting too for the takeaways from the fans? What is it that you want the fans to be able to grasp? I know you told us what it was about, so what is it that you want the fans to be able to grasp for? So take, for instance, if you're at a concert, you got a concert coming up in 2 weeks, and you go out on stage, because some things are going to present itself differently each time you go out. So what is it that you expect your fans to grasp from serendipity?
Okay, I love that question. It's wonderful. A lot of the song, the chorus always goes back to, no matter what I go through, I have that strength inside myself. Those are the words in the song. And and my most important thing that I want to reach out and tell the fans is that really you cannot underestimate the power of the human spirit ever, no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard things are or how sad you feel, because you, at the end of the day, have the gift of your own strength inside your heart. Nobody ever can take that away from you, and nobody can diminish that. It's always your choice. And it's just this burning fire that we all have it, and some can tap into it, and others have a harder time tapping into it. And I just really want to say, please, 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 always trust yourself and go to your inner strength, no matter what you're going through, and you will be okay. I promise you will be okay.
Okay, great. So now, as a songwriter, so as a songwriter, what do you just sit down and you say, okay, we're going to do the next song. This is how it's going to write. Do you get them from, I guess, your personal experiences or some of the past experiences that you have gone through, or is this something that you would desire for fans to be able to see as maybe like sometimes we do things. Sometimes a lot of things I haven't been through, but sometimes I may write a book according to what somebody can be able to grasp from the meaning of the title or from the book. So when you're sitting down and you got your coffee, you got your tea and what have you, so what is it that you just come up with when you're writing your songs and your music?
You mean how do I get my ideas? Okay.
Correct.
It's really interesting. The last few years, I had so many ideas and so many songs that I always was like, okay, I'm going to take a break. I don't want to write anymore. And then that night, an idea would come to me, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and I jump out of bed and have to write it down, and then love the song, then have to finish it and just be completely obsessive and focused. And then lately, to tell you the truth, it was just kind of like an avalanche, just so many songs, so many ideas. I can tell you a lot of it's personal. not that I don't want to share it. I'm just saying it's like a lot of the stuff that I write about is just stuff that I've gone through, or I don't make a lot of the stuff up. Let's put it that way, because I'm not that good. I'm not that good at that, and so probably every single song in some way on this album and on the other two albums that I did has really come from a source of truth and of personal experience. There's just no question about it. So if something is really affecting me and I can't really get away from it, I know I have to pretty much sing about it or write about it. And then when I put that thought out there, I might hear a melody just out of the blue, and that's something I like. And then I seem to really enjoy finding my melody and my words together. To me, they're always like a little bit of a marriage. I don't do one first usually, or then the other. I don't know. A lot of people do that. There's so many songwriters that they know that they're great at the music. They know that they're great at or just the lyrics. And I just think certain words go with certain chords.
Right.
So that's why I like to. That's why I like to write both the words and the music.
Yeah. I agree with you. Also, I kind of think that the audience will also, get a better feel of the artist as well when we put all of our thoughts into and our meanings, into a song and what have you. And I think that is so wonderful. Like I said, I listen to it, and when I listen to the song, I'm like, okay, this is I'm getting a little freedom here and what have you. And so that's good. That's good, because you want to be able to speak to your audience, and then your audience can be able to talk back to you as well. So is what would be the next chapter that you would like to see yourself in, I say, as a long-term goal in the next 5 years, especially as you as an artist and a musician?
Well, my goal is, I really love what I'm doing, and I hope to be able to continue making albums, and I want to be touring and giving concerts, and meeting my fans and singing to them and discussing with them ideas and songs and just giving great shows. Those are my goals.
Absolutely. So is there anything that you would like to leave with the audience as a musician, as an artist, for those that are perhaps maybe trying to get into the music industry and the artist industry as a music, as a songwriter? Would you like to leave anything with the audience in regards to that?
A couple of things. I would first like to say, if there's anyone out there that's just, attempting to be a songwriter, or someone that is a songwriter already, I would just say, just speak your truth. I think that the best songs come from speaking our truth. That's number one. Speak your truth in your work. And then if you really believe in your dream and in your passion, just work at it every single day. Don't give up. Don't get discouraged. There is really a silver lining. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a rainbow out there for all of our dreams. And I know it sounds a little corny, but you just can't. You can't give up. You can't give up.
Absolutely. So this is the opportunity where you can be able to share with the listeners how they can be able to find your music, your website, if you would like to share that. And if you desire for them to follow you on any social media handles, you can be able to do that at this time. Of course, we would love for you to share more and more about Serendipity, and then so the audience can also know where to be able to listen to that release. And yes, you can do that at this time.
My website and my Instagram and my Facebook and my Twitter and my YouTube is Carolee Rainey Tunes .com is the website. So Carolee Rainey Tunes CaroleeRainey. You can find me anywhere. If you go on my YouTube, you'll find lots of my videos. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love it. I need subscribers. And you can sign up for my newsletter on my website, CaroleeRaineyTunes.com. And follow me on Instagram. Get in touch with me. And I'd love to hear what you're doing, too. So that's my schmeal.
Okay. Share with the listeners where you're going to be at on the next stage. Do you have any upcoming events where you're going to be out in the community singing, or you have another concert that's coming up? You can be able to share that with them as well.
Right. Where are you located, by the way?
Okay, this is the U.S. in Tennessee. The capital of the Music City.
Right, I'm very familiar with it. I actually made the album Serendipity and all the singles that are coming out, Orbit. I made it down in Nashville. So, I have a concert coming up in the Berkshires of Massachusetts on September 24th from 2 to 3:30. People, if they happen to be in the Northeast. They can look me up and get tickets and see me in concert there. That's the next concert.
Great. So thank you for being our guest today, sharing your latest in Serendipity, to be able to share with the listeners as to how they can be able to find your information, what this song and latest release actually means to you, and so they will know what it also means to them as well. And so we thank you so much for being our guest today, Carolee, on the Women Who Rock with Success Media Show. So you all meet us back here at 10 o'clock where we will have our second episode for today. And thank you once again for being our guest on today, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. It was very nice talking to you and everybody else out there. I wish you well.
Thank you.